The Fed Chief Ben Bernanke is backing more regulation support on the money market mutual fund industry. We've got Michael Derby, who's joining us this morning with more on this. The chairman making some comments last night to this effect. Tell us exactly what he said.
Well, I guess one thing we could get right out of the way is that he didn't talk about the economy or monetary policy at all in the speech last night. So after the jobs report, we get no additional clues about the future direction of whether they're going to do QE3 or anything like that. So instead, the way I viewed the speech that he gave last night, that was the Federal Reserve officials see that there's sort of unfinished business from all the efforts that were done to overhaul financial oversight to the regulatory structure. And one of the areas that they are targeting are the money market mutual fund industry and also the repo market, where dealers finance their trading positions.
And Michael, you know, it's been 4 years since the financial crisis caused money market funds, or certain high-profile money market funds, to literally break the buck. Why is it taking so long for the Fed to weigh in on this crucial issue, given that the scope of the money market fund industry?
I don't know if it's taken them necessarily so long. I mean, there have been certain Federal Reserve officials who have spoken about this subject a number of different times. The New York Fed has been for quite some time trying to get this industry group to reform the repo market. And back in February, one of the big things that happened on that front is basically the industry group failed to achieve what it was supposed to achieve. And the New York Fed said that it was going to have to take a much more active role in overseeing that market. Dodd-Frank was a huge, supermassive piece of legislation, and I think at the time the perception was it wasn't going to necessarily cure all ills. Of course, you can argue if it was going to cure any ills, but that, you know, that was the thing, that they knew they weren't going to get everything. And the money market mutual fund sector, especially given its huge size, money market funds, they act like banks in many ways, but they don't have the access to the safety net that a bank has. So they remain a source of risk. And so you've seen Bernanke give like the speech that he gave last night. They talk about it. It's a sector that needs some sort of oversight. I believe the SEC is being fairly active on this one, but yeah, the speech last night wasn't very long on what should be done. It's just that something needs to be done about this sector, because another aspect about the money market fund, something about it's probably, if Europe were to get into big trouble again, money market funds would be the main conduit to bring that financial instability into the U.S. So it's an important area that needs reform. Chairman identified it last night. We need to know more about what he actually wants to have happen.
All right, Michael, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it this morning. Interesting comments from the Fed chief on this. We'll be following that on WSJ.com as well.